Hi, and welcome to today's live. And what I want to share with you is an idea to increase your worth or your value per hour. Let me explain. As a business owner, you get to pay yourself. You also get to set your own rate of pay. Unfortunately, for a huge number of business owners, that's normally what's left. And that's a huge mistake. And it would also indicate a little or no planning and that you pay yourself last. And what I want to share with you is a better way to do it. Now, in time management workshops, it's often touted that you should calculate your value per hour. How much is your time worth per hour? And the way you're shown to do that is to take what you earn per year and divide by the number of days and the hours you work. So, for instance, let's say, you're making 100,000 a year. Divide that by 220 working days and by 8 hours a day, and that would calculate out at £56 per hour. That's brilliant, isn't it? Challenge is, it doesn't work. It's a bogus calculation because it misses one really, really important fact. And that really important fact is there isn't a single person on this planet that achieves 8 hours or 8 productive hours in a working day. The workday hour is one thing. The productive hour is totally different. A survey of top CEOs was carried out some years back, and the survey showed that in general, CEOs were lucky if they were productive for 3/4 of an hour per day. Just let that sink in. 3/4 of an hour per day. And these were some of the top CEOs on the planet. But just like you and me, they're human and they get dragged into lots of stuff that isn't productive. Now, if you were to look at your work week and be really forensic about it and ask yourself, where am I really productive as? Where are they in this calendar? Where am I really on it? What you'll find, if you're lucky, is possibly less than a third of your week is truly productive. And that means that if we take the calculation, the £56 from the calculation we made earlier, that would need to be multiplied by 3. So now it's £168 per hour. So if £100,000 is what you're after, great questions you need to be constantly asking yourself is what I'm doing now worth £168 per hour? Just imagine that 12-minute phone call you just had. Was it really worth 68 quid? Or that 30-minute meeting that overrun and you were left wondering why we were there in the first place? Was that really worth 132 quid? Can you now begin to see how beneficial it will be if you started thinking from this paradigm? And thinking in terms of time investment, think about things like the time you spend traveling to and from jobs, the extra minutes to finish that cup of tea at the end of meetings, the time spent on small talk. You may want to rethink all of that when you consider it's charged back to you. Yes, it's charged back to you at a rate of £168 per hour. To overcome this thing, the first thing you need to do is decide. Yes, decide what you're aiming to take as a salary per year. And then make sure you're including that figure all your perks, medical insurance, your pension contributions, etc. And then think about if you haven't got this figure in mind, how the heck can you work out what your hourly rate should be? And that means you won't be able to make good decisions about how to invest your time. You'll wander around flitting from task to task and settle for whatever you can get. Now, having a number, even if it isn't perfectly calculated, is better than having no number at all. So set yourself an ideal number. Divide that number by the working days, which is normally around about 220 a year. Divide that by your working hours. If you're lucky, it might be just 8. And then multiply that number by the amount of productive hours you do. If you're not sure how many productive hours you do, for ease of calculations, just multiply it by the number 3. And what you now have is a number that could well change your life, because your decision making will get a whole lot easier with this number staring you in your face. So plaster it everywhere, put it on post-it notes, have it as a screensaver. Make sure it's plastered into your schedule, into your diary, and make sure people around you know all about it, especially your time vampires. Time vampires. And you know who they are. Have you had many baths? So there you have it. This only works when you give it a go. Take this from theory to practice to mastery, because you will thank me later. Thank you for watching.